Well, the results are in following Idaho's Republican presidential primary.
Ted Cruz came out on top by a wide margin. Kelsey McFarland has a look at the numbers so far. She's live in Boise.
The Idaho County Elections Office had their first major test of the new election system last night. The results showing that Cruz came out on top with 96,000 of Idaho votes, coming in with 45% of the vote. Trump came in second with about 28% of the vote. The Idaho GOP Watch Party held at the Riverside Hotel was host to Trump fans.
This guy took $1 million and he flipped that $1 million into $12 billion. That is hustle. That is someone that can take the lead and flip this country around.
Rubio supporters.
And I see a little bit more experience, and I don't see the arrogant brashness that you see in a Donald Trump or the lack of endorsements from his own colleagues that you see in Ted Cruz.
And Cruz fans.
Well, first of all, Ted Cruz is principled. He's a constitutionalist. He does what he says he's going to do. People appreciate that. You can trust him. And he came to Idaho. The Republican and Constitution Party watched as Ted Cruz took the lead shortly after polls closed, finishing ahead of GOP frontrunner Donald Trump. This is the 7th state won by Ted Cruz. He now has 14 delegates in Idaho. Trump grabbed the other 10 delegates in the gem state. Marco Rubio, with 16% of the vote, came in third. During the watch party, the Republican Party's chairman says this presidential primary was worth the state's dollars to be early in the decision-making process.
It's where you have the least risk of fraud, you have the least risk of liability, it's where people can have the greatest confidence in the process. And so what you're paying for is participation.
Now, to get a full look at our election results, go ahead and head to KBY2.com. And don't forget, the Democratic caucus is on March 22nd. Live in Boise, Kelsey McFarland, KBY2 News.
All right, thank you, Kelsey. History was made Tuesday in our state as the first Idaho Republican presidential primary held in March, not May.
Pundits and politicians say the GOP as a whole will never be the same after this presidential primary race. Now, they're pointing to the non-traditional campaigns and personality clashes, but the chairman of the Idaho Republican Party dismisses the notion, even though he admits this primary is unlike any he's ever seen before.
I think the infrastructure of the party is strong. Do we have differing opinions about who should lead the country, differing opinions about who should run for various offices? Sure, we do. But in terms of the nuts and bolts, the core values that hold us together, nothing's really changed on that.
Yates also thinks it was a good idea to move up the GOP primary date, especially after Idaho saw visits from 2 presidential candidates.
And in results across the country, Donald Trump came out on top in Hawaii's Republican caucus. Democrats will hold their caucus later this month. And in Mississippi, Donald Trump took the state on the GOP side. Hillary Clinton declared a Democratic victory.
And Trump also beat out his fellow candidates in Michigan. And for the Democrats, Bernie Sanders pulled a surprise victory.